We just witnessed one of the best rounds of disc golf ever played. And disclaimer as always, there's going to be spoilers. And another disclaimer, we're going to talk about Jesus. Not that Jesus. We're going to talk about disc golf Jesus. Let's jump into what happened on one of the best rounds of disc golf ever, which was Jonesboro Open Round 2. Round 2 of Jonesboro Open was incredible. We had a lot of good scores. We had Eagle, McMahon and Calvin Heimburg still remaining at number 1 going into the final round. Corey Ellis shot -13 and is also in the lead card. Played awesomely. There was a lot of double-digit throws. Once more, Mason Marbanks shot -13, Kyle Klein, Ben Callaway shot -12, Bradley Williams, Isaac Robinson, Simon Lizotte -11s, and then we had a lot of -10s. Gannon Buhr, Drew Gibson, Albert Tam, Jeremy Colling, Aiden Scott, and Max Reckling. But one person we are not yet mentioned, and that's going to be the majority of the talking points of this round. And the player is, as you can see, the hot round, -17, James CONRAD. Me and my wife were sitting on the edge of our seats, watching if James CONRAD can pull this off. And when James CONRAD hit the final putt at hole 18, we were both celebrating like James CONRAD won the World Championships. We are huge fans of James CONRAD, and this round was incredible to follow. Unfortunately, we didn't see a lot of it because we were following the lead card and the chase card, but we saw from time to time some clips of greatness from James CONRAD. Thinking back to it, like -17, it's crazy. To make it even greater than it is already, shooting a birdie at 18 is a feat in itself because it's the hardest hole in the course. So James CONRAD having nerves of steel and getting the birdie on 18 was technically the best thing ever. And the holes 14 and 5 are the second hardest and the third hardest of the course. So there is room for improvement if you want to nitpick, but -17, come on. The funny thing about following, like seeing clips of James CONRAD throwing those shots were his cardmates just cheering him on. Gannon Buhr and Väinö Mäkelä cheering James CONRAD every time he made a birdie putt or every time he threw great from the tee. Like, it was fun and exciting to follow. Just would have wanted to see more of it. And now that James CONRAD is in the lead card, I'm also looking forward to see, can he do it again? Which is going to be a really tall order. And also, can he challenge Calvin and Eagle for the win? Because at the moment, Calvin and Eagle are looking really tough to beat. They've been consistent -13 both rounds, so you need to shoot over -13 to challenge Eagle and Calvin. This is one of those things why I love live sports so much, because you experience the excitement, the thrill live as it's happening. And that's why I highly recommend everybody to watch live disc golf, because it's so exciting. Especially this year, the MPO side has been way more close than I would argue ever before. So every tournament is a nail biter. So you will get your money's worth. I'm not sponsored by the Disc Golf Pro Tour, so I have no stake in that thing. But I'm just a huge fan of live sports, and this is a good testament why live sports are really fun to watch. There's going to be a few interviews after this. Thanks for watching, guys. And it's going to be an intense last round. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to get notified when I upload new videos. Like the video and comment down below. Is this the best round ever? I would argue that this is probably the top 3 rounds ever in disc golf. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. See you after the final round.
17 under round. You walk off the course, you say that was wild.
Yeah.
You got to give us a few more words than that. What's going through your mind in a round like that?
Man, it's almost hard to put words to it, but definitely was just kind of locked in the zone. The round started off nice. I was able to park hole 1, and yeah, the throw felt good. The putts were feeling good, and we had really good energy on the card. I was playing with Gannon and Väinö and Zach Arlinghouse, and yeah, I definitely enjoyed playing with all those guys, and I felt like they were kind of behind me the whole way. You know, they were trying to do their best, but I felt like, especially after a certain point, they were really cheering me on too, and that definitely made it a lot easier to keep it rolling.
You come out to the course and the conditions are like this. What is the mentality? What is the plan of attack?
I'm pretty much attacking the course. I think hole 5, I kind of had it in mind I'd just kind of play for par. The tee pad's really short and kind of awkward there. I feel like going for the birdie on that one's kind of asking for trouble. So, yeah, getting 4 in a row, I was definitely tempted to go for 5, but I was like, no, just stick with it. Maybe make a little 100-foot jump putt across or something. And but yeah, other than that, my game plan out here is pretty much just to attack everything, and clearly.
Yeah, 16, you didn't like your second shot, but it worked out. I mean, is that something that's just part of a round like this where you kind of get a little break from time to time?
Honestly, I do think it's like that. I mean, we can do as much as we can, but sometimes the really special rounds, sometimes it seems like the course is kind of helping you out a little bit here and there. 16, like my shot didn't feel bad, but it just clipped a few leaves on the tree that could have easily like dunked it in the pond, and then I'd be putting for par or throwing for par. And yeah, again on like 18, like I kind of caught some limbs, but they didn't really affect my shot too bad. So definitely felt a little fortunate, but I was very happy to like capitalize on those moments of fortune.
All right, we're going to see highlights from this round for a long time, and many of them. But what stands out to you as your personal favorite highlight of the day?
Probably honestly making a putt right here on 18. You know, that was about a 40-footer, and that green is pretty sloped, so those can be scary to putt on, and to be feeling so good with the round, to be able to close it out strong with a good circle 2 putt felt great.
Closed it out strong indeed. James Conrad, 17 under par here at Jonesboro. Great round.
Thank you.
Kelvin Heimburg managed to shoot another 13 under. Very impressive, especially with a slow start and a slow finish. He's in the clubhouse now. Let's hear from him.
Joining us in the clubhouse live, Calvin Heimburg tied for first place, 13 under yet again, 26 under total. Calvin, anything feel different about today's 13 to yesterday's?
Yeah, it felt a little cleaner. I felt more comfortable on the putting green and just in general on the course. Very similar conditions. I mean, a little wetter, you know, on the ground, but as a whole, still very still out here and very attackable. And I'm sure that showed on the scoreboard today. You know, a lot of low numbers again. It's just, yeah, this place is very attackable when there's no wind.
When there is wind, do you feel like this course has somewhat of a challenge? I mean, there's players now starting to talk about how quote-unquote soft the course might be. Do you buy into that?
I think it definitely plays a lot tougher. I mean, people walk up to their 27-footer when there's a 15 to 20 mile an hour wind, and they miss those all the time. So it's like, that's kind of what we've seen as a normal out here more often than not. So with these conditions, yeah, it's playing very, very easy, but it could easily, you know, the wind could pick up and it can easily go back to playing the way it was. Like, I don't think the field is just that much better this year compared to last year or the year before. Like, we're not, as a field, 2 strokes better, 3 or whatever we're averaging better than we were. It's just, there's no way there's that big of an improvement in 1 year. It's just, we've never played this tournament with 2 still rounds as rounds 1 and 2.
You said that the field is not that much better than last year, but today was kind of a special day. James Conrad shooting the 17 under par, shooting a new course record. Did you hear any chatter amongst the spectators or anyone on your card while you were going through the round about his pace?
No, I did hear about it, I guess, on hole like 16, but like that was, I think he was well done by the time I made it to hole 16. I think his round, I mean, he shot like an 8, I think, the day before, so he finished a while ago. So yeah, I didn't hear about it when it happened. I heard about it a little later.
Well, you going into tomorrow tied for the lead, 13 under par. Do you think is enough to do it tomorrow?
I think 13 has a pretty good chance of taking it down. I mean, we'll see what the weather's doing. I've heard it's supposed to be a little windier tomorrow, so it might not even take 13 down if it actually is windy. You know, it's going to be tougher to put this close if it's windy, and then even once you're on the putting green, you know, those edge of circle ones become a lot tougher.
Well, it was a great round, 13 under par.
Thank you.
Tied for the lead. We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck.
Thank you.
Joining us in the clubhouse, your co-leader at 26 under par, another 13 under, Eagle McMahon. Eagle, congratulations. How are you feeling about this one compared to yesterday?
Today felt little different. Yesterday felt a little bit more effortless. Today there was, it's kind of funny to say there was some struggles, but it was mainly 2 missed putts that really felt like struggles. That just tells you how perfect the scoring conditions are. But I was able to get some holes that I didn't get yesterday to kind of make up for those missed putts, so that was a big bonus. And then the eagle on hole 16 definitely put me in position to have that opportunity to get that 13 under for coming into tomorrow.
Talk about 16, actually. When I walked up to your lie, you seemed a little pinched by that tree in the middle of the fairway. Were you as pinched as I saw?
I was definitely a little bit pinched, but I wasn't going for the basket. I was just trying to throw something vertical to get over to the left side to give myself a putt to miss that right guardian tree.
So all the way back in the fairway, you are still thinking place it on the left side so you have a putt at the back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, very rarely you're going to have the opportunity to just attack the basket straight or a forehand. So most of the time you're going to have to saw something off to the left side and give yourself a putt for 3.
How often on that course are you having to do that? How often do you have to stray away from hunting bullseyes?
A pretty good bit. If you can train your mind to play the left side or the right side of the green, you can actually find it very advantageous. For example, hole 9, coming into the green, just making sure you play the good side, give yourself a putt. Hole 10, especially, instead of trying to get to the basket, just playing it to the left side, because you'll get an anti-skip and probably find yourself right on circle's edge. So a whole bunch of other holes, just really playing the friendly side of the greens to give yourself a look.
Well, one last question about a specific hole, hole 9. We talked about it yesterday. You had to throw the backhand from where you were yesterday. Today you got to throw the forehand, and you threw a beautiful line. And it was kind of a different line than I'm used to seeing you throw with the forehand, a little bit more controlled. How different are those lines that you're throwing now with the forehand?
I'm definitely disking up, just trying to keep everything more compact, a little bit slower. So back a few years ago, I'd probably be throwing a really overstable disc, just ripped. Now I'm just trying to throw a graceful, big germ-esque sidearm.
Well, it looks fantastic, and got you a great 3 on that hole. Tomorrow, it's going to be about 20-mile-an-hour winds. You talked about an active game plan change should the rain have persisted. In the wind, are you thinking already ahead to round 3?
It really depends what the direction the wind is going into tomorrow. Some holes it may be in my benefit, and some holes probably in my and not my benefit. So it really depends on what tomorrow is. I don't think you're going to be seeing the scores that you've been seeing these 2 days, but I could be wrong. I know last year Simon played an incredible round, shot 13 under or so in ripping wind. So that might be what it takes tomorrow. So stay tuned on the Discmania Network.
Well, good luck tomorrow. We'll just have to see. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Good luck.